This is the 25th Bermun Conference. Welcome. With more than 700 total participants, Bermun is by far one of the largest Model United Nations conferences in Germany. Students from over 90 countries worldwide stream to Berlin during these 4 days.
Now that you've gotten situated, let me take the time to introduce to you what you'll be going through over the next 4 days. Where I am right now is the John F. Kennedy School Berlin, where the majority of the conferences will be taking place.
And this here is the silent study room of the JFKS Library, where Bermun began 25 years ago. Naturally, it has changed a lot since then.
Three students came to me and asked, would it not be possible to set up an MUN conference similar to the conference that they have in The Hague? At that time, something like 1,000 students attended their conference. And they said, I said, what are we going to do about this? And they said, well, what we would like to do is bring students from East Berlin, the former East Berlin, together at our school to discuss international politics. It would be a way of getting to know one another.
So here we are today at the 25th anniversary of Bermun, at the Friedrich-Ebert-Stiftung in the center of Germany's capital. Named after the first democratically elected president of Germany in 1925, the foundation is devoted to promoting democracy, political education, and students with outstanding intellect. And what better venue to kick off this year's conference than this respected institution? Over the next 4 days, you will be immersed in a collaboration with some 700 of your peers, writing resolutions and representing your assigned culture in debates centered around this year's theme: ending human suffering, reassessing the United Nations role in a globalized world. Now let's let some of this year's delegates weigh in on this complex issue.
Most importantly, we felt that to commemorate 25 years of Bermun, we would have to distance ourselves from generic MUN topics that we have used in the past. And in fact, that it was time for us to take a look at exactly how Model United Nations should be a simulation of the United Nations.
This year's theme is especially interesting because it's really a culmination of so many things that have been discussed in Bermun and in many other forums that we're all familiar with.
So this year in EcoSoc, our topics are going to be in the procuring the humane integration and successful treatment of refugees. And another topic is about minimum labor standards, and another is about creating stabilization in post-conflict zones. I'm really excited about these topics. I think they're super applicable just in this year and everything that's going on in the world. I think people are going to be able to look at it from a different perspective and be able to engage. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that with my delegates. Also, it's an exciting year because this is the 25th anniversary of Bermun.
We noticed that issues that had been on the agenda for Bermun in the past 25 years, everything ranging from promoting good governance to the well-being of women, all come down to this single mission of ending human suffering.
It was time for us to step outside the box, to take a look at the very organization that we were simulating, and to think critically on the United Nations and its role in a globalized world.
So we thought that it would be more than fitting to have a theme that encompasses all of these values that we're so familiar with, but often don't articulate so clearly and decisively.
In line with this approach to the core mission of the United Nations, which is more direct than ever, we have a series of committee topics that are more dynamic and to a certain extent more complex than ever before.
So yeah, the student officers have been working very hard in just the past few months. We've gone on a trip where we really put a lot of effort into figuring out how we want the flow of the conference to look, how we want our committees to look, and just working together as a team. That we had some really great time together.
Bermun was born after the fall of the wall in Berlin 25 years ago in 1991 to foster dialogue between the East and the West. And now, 25 years later, it has become so much more. We wish you a very fruitful debate.